Hello everybody, this is Joseph Propati, and I'm putting this video together to present my game that I've designed for the 2021 9-card PnP Design Contest that's running right now on Board Game Geek. I'll put the link in the bottom of the video. That contest, which runs every year, it deals with making a print and play game that only has 9 cards, which you can have images on the front and back, and up to 18 components. And these components can be 6-sided dice, coins, cubes, meeples, gems, all different kinds of colors, paper clips. But it's a contest that has heavy restrictions because it's only 9 cards and limited components. So this game was designed for that contest, and the video that I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk about just a little bit of background on the game, the components, and the rules, and I'll do a little bit of a playthrough. So, what is my game? So, this game is called Moon Base Command, and basically what the game is about is you are the commander of a moon base. You have 3 bases that you're supposed to protect. You've been given some information from the Federation that has told you that there's going to be a massive asteroid assault on that base. I guess a nearby asteroid belt has pushed off some large asteroids and sent them towards your moon base. So what they've told you is there's going to be a number of waves of these asteroids, and you need to use your missiles and your plasma cannons to destroy these asteroids before they destroy the 3 bases that you have to protect. The game itself is one of those where it's a win or lose, but there's also a score based on how little damage your bases take. If no damage is taken, you get the best or the highest score, and then as each point is taken down for each base that is taking damage, your score goes down. So basically the top score is 18 points because there's 3 bases that have a shield of 6 points, and that consists of 3 dice, 3d6. So let me talk a little bit about the components. So this game, as I said, has 9 cards, and I only use d6 and cubes. Now, the dice represent the 3 bases. These are the red dice, and then the rest are the asteroids. They're used in an asteroid, and then you'll see that I have, there's 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 2 more dice. So, all these dice are the asteroids, and these are for the base. And then these are used for tracking the number of waves that the asteroids come in. These track, the red cube is for the missiles, yellow tracks the number of turns in the game, and then your 2 green are for the plasma cannons to keep track of the cell usage, which causes damage to the asteroids. Now the cards, they're broken up into 3 for your base, and then the 6 for the actual asteroid assault cards. That's what these are called. So you have, they're all double-sided, and I've kind of done it where I have 2 modes of play. There's your normal mode of play, and then when you flip them over, you'll see on here there's this hard mode. And basically I've given less missiles, there's less turns, but you also have less firepower on your cannons. So you want to start off with the normal mode, right? Now you have a left and a right plasma cannon, and these are made up, this track is made up of, each cell is a point of damage that it can be used to destroy an asteroid. I'll explain the asteroids in a second, but you have this green normal zone, and as the more you use your gun, you'll get into this warning zone, and then once you get to this red zone, that means you've overheated the plasma cannon. If you get the red zone, that means you have to wait a whole round before you can fire again, but that at least recharges back down to this little green box. When you are firing the gun, every round it recharges. If you don't fire the gun at all, then you'll get 4 cells that you charge. If you've been firing the gun, then it only recharges 2 cells. So you have these right and left. And then you also have, on your right gun, you have a tracker for how many waves. So in the normal game, a long game would be 5 turns at 4 waves per turn. So a total of 20 waves. So these are your plasma cannons. And then you have your moon base. This tracks the number of missiles you have. You have 8 in the game. And then here you have your number of turns with the asteroid assault. And then these are for your 3 bases, which you'll set up as 6 on each dice. Again, you have your hard mode. For your asteroid assault cards, you have 6 of these. They're, again, double-sided. They have some symbology on them, but one thing you want to remember and keep track of is this little white triangle that's in the upper left corner. That always needs to be in the upper left. That's how the cards will be laid down. So make sure they're not flipped around and that you have all those in the upper left corner. And each side has that. The icons, if you see this grid, each card has a 2x3 grid. If you ever see a space that has a die in it, that means you're going to be placing a random die on it, rolling it, and that will be the value of that asteroid, but that's where the asteroid's going to start. If you see a little asteroid with an arrow, that means as the dice, which are the asteroids, are moving down towards your base, when it hits the space, it will now move diagonally. You have some that are left, some that are right, and then you also have some that are double. So now if you see one like this, when the dice lands on it, the next move, you roll a d6, and if it's a 1 to 3, it'll move here, 4 to 6, it'll move here. So those are basically the 3 or 4 different kinds of icons or symbols. So we have those, all right? The asteroids, so there's 3 basic sizes and speeds. So you have red, green, and black. Now, black are the normal asteroids. They can be a size of 1 to 6. So whenever you set up an asteroid, meaning if it's 2, you need 2 shots to destroy it. These are 1 to 6 in their size, and they only move 1 space. So a space is 1 space on a card. If you have a green one, this is a little bit faster asteroid, but it can still be a size of 1 to 6, so you'll roll it for the size, but these move 2 spaces. So if you were here, it'd be here and then here. When you have a red, this red single asteroid, this one's a lot more dangerous. This starts out as a size 6, so you want those huge asteroids, and it moves 2. So those are ones you want to look out for. So with that, I'll go into the setup mode. Okay, so what we're going to do is to do the setup for Moon-based command, you take your 3 base cards, right? And you have your left plasma cannon, your moon base, and your right plasma cannon. And again, make sure that they don't say hard on them, you know. So we got to make sure we get those on the right side. So you just want to line those up so the top is all flush. Then we take our 3 red dice and set them on each moon base with a value of 6. This represents each of the 3 bases with their shields at full strength. Take your yellow cube, put it on the 5 for turns, the red one for your 8 missiles. Take your white cube, put over here on the asteroid waves for 4 waves. And then these just sit on the bottom of the card. These track here, plasma cannons. And that is your setup for the base cards. Now, for these asteroid cards, it's a little different. So what you're going to do is you're going to shuffle them up, but as you're shuffling them, just occasionally flip them over. That way you can kind of get some randomness of both sides. Alright, So again, make sure you have that triangle up in the upper left corner. Then all you're going to need to do is just place them so this first row is in between these 3 little markers. And then that sets up your grid for the asteroid, the track for the asteroid field. Now you're going to have these 6 columns, and they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so left to right. And that you want to remember, because when you're setting up where your asteroids go, you'll be using that column setup. These are also based on ranges and zones. So this first range, that's short, then you have medium, and then you have long range. So we have short, medium, and long, and certain weapons have certain ranges. Then you have these basically grids where you have a zone that your cannons can fire in. And your cannons, a left cannon can cover from 1 to 5, and your right cannon can cover from 2 to 6. So this means any asteroids that are in this column, only this left cannon can fire on it and destroy it. Not until it gets into here can this right cannon. Same with here. If you're on the 6th column, only the right cannon can affect it. This cannon can't damage those asteroids. So then you have your range. The plasma cannons can only shoot at short and medium range. So any asteroids up here, you can't use your cannons. And the missiles fire at medium and long range. So, you know, they have to take off and aim, and there's a trajectory. So once you get down to here, you got to be careful because you cannot use your missiles anymore. So again, cannons are short and medium, missiles are medium and long range. And then that is our setup for the cards. Now we have, you look at your symbology of these icons, now you see that there's these 2 dice. So what we do is we take all of our asteroid dice, you can put them in a cup or a bag, and pick one at random for this and roll it. So we have a 5 that's going to start right there, but it's a normal at least. And then we roll this one, and we have a 4. So we have those starting asteroids. And then what we want to do is we want to set up our very first wave of this first turn. So what we'll do is we'll take 3 dice, all right? You roll them, and if you get any doubles, just re-roll, right? So you take it and put it on that column range, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have a 5 here, a 3 here. So now we know which columns are going to be coming down at, starting. And then what you want to do is roll for their size. That's a 6, and then a 3. So here we have our first wave of asteroids, our initial asteroids that are set up, and our guns are all set up. We're ready to play. So your game may look similar to this, but this is the general setup, and that very first wave is set up. So now remember, in the gameplay, you have 5 turns and 4 waves per turn. So total of 20 rounds. As long as you can get past those 20 rounds and you don't lose all 3 of your bases, you've won the game. If you've lost all 3 of your bases, game's over and you've lost. And then based on how low the shields are is what your score can be. So let's go over the rules. Each round is set up in steps. Okay, so initially you have this 2x3 grid. Asteroids are coming down at your base. Okay, if they ever get below this line, your base shields are going to take damage. So as these move, and again remember, black shields, they only move 1, or black asteroids move 1, green move 2, and red move 2. So they move spaces. So each one of these squares is a space. So on your round, there's going to be movement of asteroids, there's going to be firing, there's going to be recharging, and then reset up for the next wave. Now, again, remember you have your icons, so asteroids shift as they're moving down. You'll have your fire phase, so you'll be able to decide if you want to fire your missiles or your cannons. And then again, you got to be careful of how much you use your cannons so they don't overheat. We have our strength, our sizes of our asteroids. And when you see these values, that means, for example, this 5. I can shoot, since it's in this zone 1 to 4, both cannons can shoot at it. And that means I need 5 to damage this. So, for example, if I use 3 and 2, that would damage this asteroid. It would destroy it. So each cell is a point. Each one of these cells is a point of damage that can be taken up upon that asteroid. And they are constantly advancing. So when we have our round set up and we're ready to go, we do our steps. First step is we fire. We use our arsenal and we fire at the asteroids. Now we have to remember we only have, our cannons have this range and our missiles have this. So we could right off the bat take our cannons and go, okay, I'll use 3 here, 2 here, and I could take this one out. When it's removed, it's just plop right back in the bag. If there's nothing else to shoot at, or if you don't want to shoot your missiles, then you can go ahead and end your turn, end that round, or that step, and go into the next step. So step 2 is asteroid movement. So we, green ones, as we said, move 2, so it would be 1, 2. Black move 1, and we follow the arrow here and here. So we've moved, and then what we do is we do a recharge. That's this third step. Since we used our cannons, remember, you get a 2 for a recharge. If I hadn't used them, I'd get a 4 for a recharge. Once we've gone through that recharge phase, we go step 4, which means we replenish for the next wave that's coming, and that next wave will be 3 dice. So we take 3 dice, roll them. We got 6, 5, rolled another 6, so 3. And then since we don't have any reds, we have to roll these for how big they are. That's a 6. Ooh, these are going to be good. So, put them in the first row. We're on our next round. Once we've set that up, we go ahead and we go to step 1 again. Step 1 again is firing. So now, again, cannons, I can only shoot in here, but I got to be careful. 1, 2, so this will go here, and then here, and then here, and then damage. So 2 rounds, and this is going to hit the base. So I can do 3. Since that's only in this column, I can't fire on it. So we can get rid of that one. But I can't shoot these. I don't want to use a missile right now, so I'll wait. And I'll end my firing range. So now it's movement. So these will all start moving. Now remember, this one has a left and right arrow, so you just take a dice. 5 means it goes here. And you can have multiple dice in the same space. So these 3, 4 can be in that space. So we've moved all of our asteroids. Our third step is recharge, right? So I didn't use anything, so I can recharge that one. And then since I use this one, I recharge 2. And then what we're going to do is do our replenishment. So we take 3 dice, roll them. Now we know that red's an automatic 6, so we're going to make that a 6. We have a 2 and a 4. So we roll this, that's a 1. Roll this one, that's a 2. So that's our next phase. So we're in that next wave. Alright. First thing we do is fire. Now I'm getting a lot of asteroids coming up. So even though they're going to take 1, we got to go for this one first, and only this cannon. And these, it's tough because I know that these are the only ones that are going to be in this column. I may be using missiles or just firing on it with my cannon. But I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Destroy this one. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll get rid of that one. And 1, we'll knock this down to 2. Alright. We've finished that firing phase, so we'll do our movement. So we go this here, here. That goes here, and then here. And we got here. We'll roll for that. Well, let's move these 2, and then we'll roll for this one. And that goes here. So we've done asteroid move. Next step is recharge. So we get 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we have replenish of the next wave. Now, if you don't have 3 dice in your bag, just take whatever's available. If there's nothing in there, it's okay. So we have 4, 5, and 1. Remember, these have to be rolled. 5, 1, 5. So we've got our setup. Go to step 1 again, fire. Now we're in some serious situation because we got a lot of 6s. And these 3 move fast. So this one I'll use a missile, and I'll take this one out. Then I will use 2 to take this one out. I could still only use a cannon for that. I will do 2 and knock this down to 4. And use 1 to knock this to 5. And I think I will hold up on any more shots. And then after the shots, we do movement. So we'll do our quick ones first. 1. It's going to go left or right. So it goes here. Then we'll move the rest of these. All right. And we are on our last. Well, first we do a recharge. 1, 2, 1, 2. We're on our last phase. Now I don't have 3 dice, so I'll just roll what I have. 2 and 4. We already know that's a 6. And we'll roll this one. It's 2. So now that we're in our last phase, all right, our last wave. So we've got it set up. Now it's shots. This is kind of tough. These are still slow, but these are fast. So, but I still got 2 rounds before they'll hit me. So I think what we'll do is we'll go 1, 2, knock this down to 2. We'll use 1, 2, knock that down to 2. We'll use a missile to take this one out. And then we'll hold off. And then we will move everything. All right. Recharge. 1, 2, 1, 2. And do our last wave. There's only 1 dice in here. 6, roll it again, and it's 4. So this turn has no more rounds. And I might have messed up on that, but I think you got the idea of how many waves you have. So now we're getting pretty tight. So we know we need to get this guy out of here. So we got to use 2, right? And this one's going to happen. So we'll take a missile, take that one out. And I'm going to try to avoid firing because that way it will give me 4, and then I can take these out. So no more shots. We'll do movement. This, here, 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 and here, and then here. Tough thing is that is going to have to be taken out. So there you have it. This is my game, Moon-Based Command. Again, my name is Joseph Patty. This was my review of my 9-card PnP Design game for the Board Game Geek contest that's running right now. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments or suggestions, go ahead and please leave them in the comment section. And if you like what you see, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. I'm always adding new videos, new games that I've designed, or updates to games that I've already designed. So thanks for watching. See you the next time.